back to Framework Fortune, and good morning, traders. Let's see what we've got going on today. So the NQ and SPY both rebounding some. I say rebounding very, very lightly because we went pretty low yesterday and then into this pre-market. So we'll see if this is going to be a rebound, but it's got to get all the way up over 430. And of course, gold has pulled back to 1900 an ounce. Same thing with silver. Oil pulling back as well. It's very interesting right now. It's very strange. And I've been watching this very closely. But you can see there's nothing on the indexes that is really up. I mean, the NQ, the SPY, sure, like 1%, 2%. But Bitcoin and Ethereum still hanging out where they've been hanging out at. You know, nothing is, there's no big moves to anything at this moment, to any certain market. So with that being the case, you know, it's gonna be weird. Let's see. Looking to see if any news. I'm assuming the FOMC meeting is tomorrow. I don't know for sure. We'll see. You know, the Fed meeting will, depending on what time it is tomorrow, we'll stream it during the stream and see what old Powell's got to say. So there's Mara. I just alerted Mara in the Discord a day or two ago. Said keep an eye on blockchain stocks, because the fact that Bitcoin and Ethereum continue to hold while the rest of the markets have been going so crazy is a pretty decent size of strength. But let me go ahead and go run through my list. Let's see what's happening here. Get an idea of where a trade might be. DRCT, that one came back up. Still trying to push up. I'm going to leave that on watch just because it's real close. That's a metal stock. We'll take that off. That's trash. AGRI is giving up. HYMC, nah. Nothing to do with that. RCAT sold off from yesterday. This was a great call by Lori. Great call as it ran all day. But today having a pullback. Now this pattern with this big green candle yesterday, if this candle can hold and close somewhere above 2, this could be a continuation rip tomorrow on RCAT. So I'm actually going to leave that on watch. See if it's going to be able to do that move. So low floats, we got KAVL and a little pop up this morning so far. Still below the 200 though. SFBM, 8 million private placement. It's very low float stock. Uptrending at the moment. We'll put it on watch, but I don't know about that. GFAI, I don't really like what I'm seeing there. GRD, nothing really there. MULN, that's going to be running into the 50-day. Look at that. AMC down to $14. Boy. Oh boy. Them apes. Them apes. They are still hurting. So, okay, we've got, looks like, there's some volume in the low floats. Just kind of really volume across all markets. EDU, which is a high float's up 22%. RLX, which is a high float, up 20%. But both of those pretty far down there at the moment. So we got on the day trade above scanner. FLMN. And a little pop up. And the daily chart's not very volatile. Let me look at these on the hour chart. Nothing is really standing out to me. You know, this is not good PR that is on SBFM. It really shouldn't be going up. But on the hour chart, it is bullish above all indicators. Could pull back down to 3 though. I don't like that PR on it. Oh damn, that was the only thing I picked out of that list. Out of all those scanners, RCAP's the only thing, or not RCAP, but SBM. Has anybody else made any trades today? Is anybody looking at any ticker symbols I'm not looking at right now? Because I'm not seeing anything. I'm looking for the best of the best setups, but I can't even find a decent setup. Maybe GFAI. Yeah, it's got some room up to 2. Let me see here. 29 million shares outstanding. I don't like that's below the 200, but it does have room up to the 200. And it's only on $1, so it could move about $1. That'd be quite a big move for it. $1.50 is going to be major resistance. As you can see right now, we're getting rejected at $1. I'm going to draw this uptrend and see if we stay above this uptrend or not. Which is basically $1. That's it. MPP selling way off. So what's BT been up to? BT has came all the way down to 275. Very interesting. Guess we can draw this uptrend on SFBM too. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Oh, okay. I read this wrong. This is not the type of this is not a common offering. This is a million. This is a private placement, and it's Aegis Capital Corp, who gave them. So it looks like who gave them $8 million. Well, they can give him, but bought, shares, $8 million worth of shares. This is some type of COVID play. Let's see. Well, it's a private placement, so it's not as bad. The only thing that is concerning is the investors, whoever they are, could drop those shares at any time. So it's actually not bad PR. This is the only thing I'm seeing so far above all EMAs on the daily chart. It's only 4 million in float. Could look for an entry here off this trend line. Looking at the hour chart, you can see these wicks. Well, this thing's pretty volatile. It shot all the way up. You know what? Let's see here. Let's keep an eye on this for a second. Anything else popping up? No, not that I see. So check the 4-hour chart. So on the 4-hour chart, we have this downtrend. Which it got rejected at. Right there. See if I can hold or not. I don't know what that downtrend, these wicks on the hour chart. That's showing a lot of selling pressure. Do got 30 minutes on this candle to close. But it need to come back up quite a bit. Oh no, see that area it's coming down to 355. That's the top of the previous body of this candle. So it is holding above that. So 355, and 355 is right where the trend line is. Let's give this 15 minutes here. Oh, not 15 minutes, but a minute and a half. This 15-minute candle closes. I want to see on this next candle if we start going green. And $4 is very strong resistance. Whole number. Both of these bodies of these candles stop there. Same thing there. GFI still nothing. KVL with a pullback. FLMN trying to break out. I don't know about that one. It's PEV. I don't like anything on the mid float. Yeah, okay. Well, at the moment, SBFM is the only thing I am seeing. What is it, chat? Working today? You guys there? Got nobody talking? What's happening? I know it's a boring market right now. You see, that candle is closed, and we're right on the trend line. So that's where we're going to see if this is going to hold up or not. Because if it doesn't hold here, it could drop all the way back down to 284. $3 more likely a support, but let me see. Let me look over here at the futures, see what's moving. Nothing really there, but Ethereum is trying to come back up. Everything else starting to consolidating. Morning, Donnell, SONM. Let's see what's going on with that. No, this has made a nice move. This wasn't on my... Let's see, integrates walkie-talkie and Microsoft Teams. 16 million in float. Looks crazy on the 1 hour. Daily chart, we are below the 200. But the 200 is way at 280. And the next major resistance is 188. If it gets through $1. Let's see, when was the last time this was over $1? Back in December, so it's been about 3 months. So 3 months it's been under $1. $1 is going to be tough resistance. But you do have a nice little uptrend. However, this thing has got to be up. Where did it start at? 60 cents. So it's already up like 40%. This is quite a bit of a move for this cheap of a stock. But I do like it for a possible break of that dollar area. How's the other play doing? It's only one other play I'm watching. And still a little sketchy. Looks like it may try to break $1 here. I'm gonna go up. Don't care. Oh, there we go, starting to pop. We'll go another 100. We got 200 here. That's about as much as I want to go on this at $1.01. We did get rejected this first time off of $1. We'll go back into our chart. Oops. The hours went straight up, so pretty bullish. It's going to need to pull back at some point. But that notification, I switched to a margin account for now. Not even, I don't even have enough money to really be on margin in this account at the moment. You gotta have 2,000, but the account is a margin account, so they're looking at it from where I took those trades Friday as rolling over for a 5-day block. But this would be my first time violating, so I ain't worried about it. And I'm not using any of their money anyway. But I switched to margin because it's the only way I can trade futures on thinkorswim. But I figure, see, SFBM is still holding that same area. But I figured I don't make that many trades a week anyway. I'm not going to be using their money on margin to trade with. I'm just going to still trade my cash. But there's no PDT rule for futures, so I can trade futures as much as I want. I just got to find the minis that I would like to trade that don't cost an arm and a leg. Wait a minute. SFBM is trying to hold there. Jump in SFBM too, since it's trying to hold up that trend line. I'm right on the trend line. Let's see, 370. If it dropped 20 cents on 50 shares, I'd be risking $10. So like my out would be at 350. How we doing over here on the Sun M? Sun M's still struggling with that dollar area. But as long as it's holding right below it and continuing to try to test, should be alright. Let's see. I ain't looking for much off of FBM. I just like to see it bounce back up. Maybe like 450. That'd be like 80 cents. Because it is so low float. A little bit of buying volume. All these candles, 330 up to 470. This green one, 329 up to 360. This guy, 350 up to 422. So it can easily throw a candle up for 70, 80 cents, maybe a dollar, with the range that it has at the moment. So now if it cracks here, that's going to be the end of the game on this. If it cracks, we'll start selling off. SONM still peek poking at it. Poking. Poking. There we go. Another poke of $1. And if $1 starts holding strong as support, then we'll be good to go. But I'm going to stay on eyes on SBFM here, as it is close to possibly cracking. Yeah, look, this just went red. We got 5 minutes on that candle to close on this 15-minute chart. So let's look to 5. Don't like the way this 5-minute candle's looking. Let's see if we start pushing up on this 5-minute candle. Start going red on this 5-minute candle, drop below 350. This is probably done. SONM still trying to hold a dollar. Looks like it is going to hold. Whoops. As bids are stacking. Yeah. Starting to climb a little bit now. Held a dollar for a little bit there. And throwing a little wick down there. Don't crack 350 now. We're testing that 350 area. $3.50 trying to hold. SONM getting rejected again at a dollar. So long, strong fight going on there. And we are starting to crack here on SBFM. I'm about to get out. That does not look good. Let me look at the 15 though and see how bad we're looking there. Yeah. I'm going to move this trend line since we've cracked. $3.50 has got to hold. See, it's still acting as resistance. See if it can get taken out here, move back up. What's up, Orlando? SPY versus VT ETF. I'm not sure what the VT is, but let's look at it. Just gonna put a stop loss in around like 340. It's so close to that though. I'm afraid the market makers are gonna yank it down though. I'm gonna wait just a second. Make sure 350 ain't gonna hold up. Oh, well, maybe not. I'm cutting out. Yeah, you can see how the Discord DMs I haven't today. I will try to get to the Discord DMs tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, but today if I can. I'll go and check that out. It's been very busy few days. SONM still not able to hold above a dollar. Looks like it may come down to 85 cents here. If it doesn't break and hold $1 soon. Oh, awesome, awesome. I'll check that out, Lauren. Good morning, good evening, Lori. SPFM did pop back above 350. That's what I was worried about. Was it? It still may more than likely drop because we're coming into this hour candle close, and I was looking for the balance of the trend line, which would have pushed this hour candle up green. Actually, there it's starting to go with 15 minutes left. Where did you wick down to? 339. Yeah, got the. Now, more than likely, this is going to have a hard time. Well, it's so low float, it's hard to say, but it's going to have a hard time getting back up there. Because you can see the selling pressure on these wicks, but this candle is not getting close to closing the way I wanted to see it close. Even if it does break out, it really stick to my plan. Alright, SONM, you're still hanging in there. Let's see. Oh yeah, VT, my bad. Let me get VT and check this out. So VT, analyze. This is the Vanguard TT World, looks like STETF. So, what is in this ETF is the question. And it's not saying. Let me see what it looks like. Basically, I don't know the exact differences because I don't know what this is weighted with. ETFs have amount of stocks in them. However, that analyze did not show me that. Normally it does, so it's kind of strange that it's not showing any of the weight. Because like if I go to the SPY and analyze, you can see right here the fund holdings and see what it's weighted towards. You can see Apple and Microsoft are the #1 holdings in the SPY right now. Together about 12% of the weight. And weight just meaning, how much pull the stock has. The more shares in the ETF of a stock, the more effect it's going to have on the price if, those main weighted Apple and Microsoft were to dip. This ETF would more likely dip. With VT, seems the same. There's that. Let's see. There's that chart. Yeah, it's about the same as the SPY as far as pattern-wise. A little bit more volatile, it looks like. But what is in this fund? That's the question. What is in there? And to find out, you're going to have to go figure out what Vanguard knows. And most people, Vanguard is usually who handles your 401k, or also your 401k may be invested in some type of Vanguard ETFs. So there's not really any important difference. They're still going to follow the same trajectory, it looks like. But the main thing is, whether you're using the VT or the SPY, you want to be using the NASDAQ future. That's /NQ. NASDAQ, the futures are going to be usually a little bit ahead of everything else because of the name futures. They move off of, what the... I don't know what I was going to say. I got distracted by this oil stock population. But hopefully that makes sense. Alright. SONM still right here at $1. It really is wanting to try to go. And its SFBM is not going. Nothing there on the low floats. Mid floats. Nothing there still. Yeah, without anything else going on. Yeah, we do, this could get a lot of retail trader attention. It's only $1. It's low float. A couple of chat rooms could grab it if it can break and hold $1 support. But we're still uptrending, so we're all right there. IXHL. No, that one didn't pop up on my scanner. Any of my scanners. IHXL. Let's see. What is it? Of course, Orlando has Discord. He's in the Discord group, Lauren. You know that. This looks like a halt fest of chaos. This looks very uncomfortable to be in. What is it? Why is this ripping? So 48 million in shares. We have a reason to rip this much? Not that I'm seeing. So this is, they're working on treatments with virtual reality and LSD. They want you to pop some acid, get in a virtual reality headset, and go to town. That's very interesting. I don't know if that's enough reason for this thing to go from $10 to $90 in one day. But, this thing has gotten exploded. This is a cannabis stock too. Cannabinoid combo product reduces HIA and sleep apnea patients. All right, now I'm perking up a little bit. Y'all didn't tell me this was a pot stock. What's that Holy doing? Holy, that's been slowly climbing. IHXL. We're going to keep on watch. SONM is starting to hold $1. So let's see if, let me yank up my pot stock list and see if any pot stocks are getting some sympathy. But thank you for bringing that to my attention, Lori. I was not aware of this play whatsoever. And it being a pot stock, I feel like I should be aware of it, since gold, silver, and pot stocks and tech is the main things I like in the stock market. Where's my list? There it is. U.S. pot stock. Oh yeah, we got a little bit of sympathy coming off. Not much. MO Altria moving up very nicely. Interesting. Altria also owns like Marlboro and a bunch of other cigarette companies. They're a cigarettes company, but they are invested in what is the name of the stock now? I can't remember the name of the stock. They invested in whatever. What is it? I don't know. When I remember, I'll let you guys know. I got P down at 185. Let's see the YOLO ETF. So the YOLO ETF hitting a bottom low for the year chart at 905. So if this crazy IHXL continues to go crazy, I think we could expect some of the cannabis stocks to start getting some action. Unless, unless oil futures skyrocket again or something dramatic happens. But right now, as we're kind of in this calm spot in the market. You have resistance at 85. Oh, let's see. SONM getting rejected again at $1. Unable to. Well, let's see. We got 4 minutes on this candle. It needs to close above $1 if it's going to be able to jump up. If not, if we kind of close like this or we start going red, we may pull out, like I said, we may pull back down to 85 cents. Right across the top of that area. That old resistance could hold as new support. Starting to kind of push down a little bit here too, going in this last few minutes. I was just trying to help you, Lauren. I figured maybe you hadn't had your coffee yet this morning or something. I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just saying. They're treating it to use PTSD in vets. Yeah, I've done some research on several stocks in the past that are using different psychedelics to help with several mental disorders, and their research is actually really promising. So that's what I'm saying. IHXL may not be worth $77 or $90 yet within one day, but once that thing calms itself down, that type of stock later on, especially if we get a nice big drop in the market, could be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Now, I'm just realizing SONM is a tech stock. So that's going to kind of move with the market. With the SPY. SPY is at that 520 area. It does look very close to trying to break 100 here. Draw this kind of rough uptrend. It's a triangle into the $100 resistance area. Just so choppy though. I mean, this thing has been halted. It looks like a lot. There's obviously a halt somewhere. Definitely a halt here. And a gap down, then another halt, then a gap down again. And then it looks like it maybe got halted here, and then unhalted and shot up and got halted again. Then it came back down. Probably looks like it maybe got halted again, and then since then it's just slowly been trying to creep. I mean, we know it has the ability to run dollars. It's already ran, 80 something dollars, but again, I'm not willing to buy this up this much. I mean, this is insane type of gains. It's got to be up let me just add mark change in there. I can just add percent change, that's fine. Let's see, where's my percent change? Oh, it's up 244%. So, for the capital and the risk, it could easily come all the way back down. It's just not worth it to me. SONM coming all the way down to 93, but still trying to kind of hold at 95, although I don't like this curl that we're getting down to the trend line. But with IHXL, if it does start breaking out, that's going to make a lot of plays go crazy. Let's see. Yeah, this is what's happening. The SPY hit this resistance, that 10-day moving average, and getting rejected off of there. Kind of making a little inverse U-shape, little hut there, little mountaintop. So it looks like it may start coming down the other side of the mountain here. Which right as soon as that cracked is about when SONM started coming down some. So that's following the SPY somewhat. Let me see this PR. I don't think this PR is that good either way. No, that's not that big of a deal. They integrated their smartphone, walkie-talkie, and Microsoft Teams. So it's kind of tied to, well, it's not even tied to Microsoft. It's not like that's a partnership or anything with Microsoft. It's just they're using Microsoft or they give you the ability to use the walkie-talkie in Microsoft meetings. So, I just liked it for the possible break of $1, but it is fumbling around. It may take all day for it to try to break $1. See, AGR 365, 395, 300. Nice job. Do I think HYMC will rise again? I mean, there's no telling, really. I'm not a fortune teller, but what I can say is it's uptrending. It's been uptrending for, let's see, how long? March 7th. So we've been uptrending for about a week. However, we came from 30-40 cents and we're up to $3. So that's a really big move in that last 2 weeks. This is also a downtrending stock over the whole year. So this thing has been very bearish and below all of these EMAs, these red and blue and yellow lines. However, we did throw a wick up above the 200. We haven't been able to close yet above this 200-day moving average. So it's going to have to start holding that 200 as support, which is at 185, and then it would be bullish on the chart after it's been bearish for an entire year. So it could continue to run. But if you bought today, like if you bought pre-market way up here at $3, that's not where you want to be buying it. And if you're still holding it, you don't want to be buying at the top to hold all the way down to half of the price. So if you're bag holding right now, that may not be a good idea, because if it can't hold that 200-day, the 10-day is down at $1.10, and the trend line is at $1.10-ish. On the shorter time frame, it's showing about $1.30, so I would just say about $1.25. But if it can't get back up above that 200, it could easily dump through all of this back down. So, ooh, SONM very close to cracking. I'm about to have to hop out of it too. It can't hold 90 cents. You gotta hold 90 cents here, bud. Hold the trend. The trend is your friend. So could HYMC rebound off of this trend line? It's a possibility. But it also could just dive. I mean, even though this is an uptrend in the short term, it looks pretty decent on the 15-minute. When we're looking at the longer time frame, the whole picture of the story, it's very, very choppy, very inconsistent with the way that it's been moving. So I don't know. And then you mix in the SPY and the stock market just in general. Let me go over to TradingView. Ethereum holding up there at 25.70. But if you look at like the NQ here, nope, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Look at the NQ here. We threw a wick down below this previous low. So we made lower lows on the NASDAQ. We have had a rebound up, but we're smashing right into this 50-day moving average, which is that 13.5 area basically. It's a little bit below that, but the 13.5 area has been the main support line. So just right here, we can see a full-on rejection that is happening. This is on the 2-hour chart. It does have a bit of a curl trying to come up, but right there, this candle getting pushed down. So if that's it, if that's the whole rebound, which it could be very easily, because that would be a lower high as well. Lower highs, lower lows, and below all resistance. It does not look like we are going to rebound at all. I mean, it could happen, but it'd be maybe a short little rebound up. But we're still so bearish. We're so bearish on the SPY and on the NASDAQ, and it does not look good. So if that cracks, the SPY, oh God, SONM, okay, it's at 89. I thought it said 84 for a second. My eyes playing tricks on me. That's whew, almost messed myself. So anyway, if the NQ if the overall market continues to crash, uh, you know, HYMC could get very affected by that. Let's see, what is HYMC though? Oh, this is the mining stock. I believe. So they dropped some type of. Let me check. Let me check real quick into. Well, actually, maybe I can analyze it and see. Nope, they don't have anything on it there. Let me pull up HYMC on TradingView. Yeah, look at that. IHXL halted again to the downside. So, I mean, there was money to make on this play, but there's also a lot of money to lose. And it will also, being in a play like this, you guys have seen where I've stayed in these halt plays like this, it is mentally exhausting. It is mentally exhausting trying to stick to your plan, predict the movements out of the halts, because coming out of halts, it's usually very unpredictable. So that's what just, I like that it ripped so big, but it's just too high up for me now. SONM, well, let's get back to 90 cents. As long as it's in that 90 cent area, I'm fine. HYMC is trying to push up a little bit here again after the sell-off. But like I said, if the entire market, oh, that's what I was going to look at. Never mind. Before I say that, let me actually go look at what I was going to look at. Because if HYMC is, in fact, a gold and silver miner, which you can see, let me go into, I don't care about that, non-energy minerals, so they are precious metals. They have some type of, okay, that's March 15, mergers and acquisitions for precious metals. Let's pull up their actual statistics, see if this is a decent company. So they engage in exploration, mining, and development of gold and silver properties. It was founded in 2017 in Nevada. Okay. There's no dividends. Let's just check his cash flow. Do we have free cash flow? Not yet, but they've cut out a lot of their debt, it looks like. The cash flow came up from last year. Yeah, you can see it pretty clear here. The yellow's the liabilities, so that's your debt. That's your assets. They decreased liabilities, and their assets are now actually outweighing their liabilities. So that's pretty good. Let's see. A lot of them. Let's see. We got two. That was 2018. It looks like. Let's see. We got 59 million in float. It looks to me like it may. They're a gold and silver company, so if gold and silver continue to go up, which I'm bullish on all the time, then HYMC could start pushing up. So if you're going to be playing HYMC, then you're going to want to have the gold future pulled up, which is /GC. And we can see in this last couple of days, gold had ran up to break 2,000, which is a very strong support and resistance line for gold. If it breaks and holds that, we are going to see gold probably make a pretty nice move. but it's pulled back here the last couple of days with everything else. Down to 19.25 an ounce, which is a significant dip in a day. But these runs on gold were significant runs. A lot of times gold doesn't move that type of big candles, as you can see. But the gold futures are bullish above all EMAs, whereas the SPY, the NQ, like we were talking about, going very bearish. So if the SPY doesn't have much more of a rebound today and starts dropping, and more war and whatever other media headlines that come out to freak everybody out will come out, and we're very close to gold trying to break out. So you just want to keep slash or backslash GC on watch. What I like to do is just unlink my second chart here, put GC on there, and then HYMC up here. And so we can compare the two at the same time. So that's the hour chart on HYMC. Now let's look at the hour chart on gold and see if they're running exactly together or not. Interesting. Actually, HYMC has been running up even though gold has been in a pullback. This is a junior miner too. This is a company, some mining company that I'm assuming has not been out. Oh yeah, it said 2017. So that means the chart should go. Well, no, it's showing back to 1024. Oh, that's off. I forgot. Never mind. I'm being stupid. Let me link this back. There we go. Yeah, so 2017 is when it come out. So junior miners are definitely ones that when gold starts moving to the upside, these junior miners are going to get a lot of attention. One, because they are cheap. You're able to buy into a gold and silver company for $1 or $1.50. So if you're not looking for that, if you're not looking, or if you're looking for exposure to gold and silver, but you don't want to go out and buy a whole gold bar or something, gold and silver stocks, especially junior miners, can give you that exposure. But junior miners at the same time can be a little sketchy because they are usually newer companies. So you want to make sure those junior miners are pulling something out of the ground. Because if they're gold or silver or whatever metals company it is, always make sure they're pulling something out of the ground. Because if not, then they're not making any money. So, okay, here. What else we got? Canadian Parliament is in session and is pretty much unilaterally agreeing to arm Ukraine with everything that they want. And the baby keeps rudely interrupting the Sikh. The Sikh, is that how he said? You're ready to pick a direction so you can make big money? Yeah, that's the thing right now. That's why we're not really, seeing rips on much of anything because of all the uncertainty, and the Feds are going to speak again. And this time, the Fed should be actually announcing a rate hike rise or raise. Rate hike raise. There we go. I think tomorrow, which, again, I think it's priced in. I don't think we're going to. They said it was going to be a quarter point raise. I called 2 months ago it was only going to be a quarter point raise. So more than likely it's going to be a quarter point raise, which is not going to matter.
So I don't think we're going to see anything out of this Fed meeting. I think it's just like the last little straw before investors start deciding where to put their money at, because inflation is not getting any better. But as long as HYMC is on this trend line, as long as it's holding up this uptrend, and gold starts turning around and going up, HYMC could easily keep running. A little bit of a double top starting to form on the hour chart on SONM. Let's see, we got 40 minutes left, so there's very, very possible the way we got smashed on this candle, if we don't hold up, if we don't continue to hold 90 cents, it could come back down all the way to 75 cents. That would not be that big of a drop because it ran, like I said, 50, 60 cents. Very low float play. So very important this holds up 90 cents here. SPY is still pushing, but you can see right there on that hour chart, we're about to smack right into the 200. Same thing with the NQ. It's trying to push up, but nothing there. IXHL. Now, on the hour chart, IXHL actually looks pretty good, but again, man, like buying up this high, even at $68, it's still so high up. So high up. I just can't. I don't care how good the pattern is looking. It's just too much. It's too high up for me. It's way too much risk of it falling down than it continuing up. And the falling down part is pretty scary, because it could fall down $20, $30, within 15 minutes. It's always crazy halts and stuff. Alright. You done now, you cut SONM, no patience. Yeah, well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with cutting it, If it didn't stick to your plan, cut the loss. You'll get them next time. I'm still hanging on, but I'm getting close to myself to cutting it. Like I said, if it doesn't hold 90 cents, my entry's at $1.01, so I'm willing to risk 10 cents on 200 shares. That's $20 for this to potentially run. If it runs to $1.25, that would be a $50 win, risking 20, so that's a 2-to-1 risk ratio, but I don't think it would slow down at $1.25. If it does break $1, I'm going to actually switch to that chart so you guys can know what I'm talking about here. It is high up, not quite as crazy high up as IHXL, but it's about double what it was. Not double, about 40 cents more than what it was yesterday. So it's still up there, but it is holding its gains thus far. We just, like I said, if it doesn't hold 90, then those gains could be given back very quickly. So it looks like we had a rejection at $1. We're now slowing down, and we'll come around, come up, and test $1 here, maybe in the next 15 minutes. You said, HYMC is moving because AMC bought shares, is buying 22% stake on it. Let me see. I didn't see that in the news. Oh, here it is. Let's see. AMC. Oh God, this is a tweet. Oh Jesus. All right, let me take a break. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here, with it being AMC and a Wall Street's Gorilla 8 play on top of a gold and silver play, on top of everything we just talked about. I didn't realize that AMC was buying into this company, but I want to read this very carefully. So I'm going to take a quick little break. When I get back, we'll read this very carefully and make sure we have the accurate, correct information. Um, because I could see, I could see retail traders seeing AMC Entertainment buying 22% of Highcroft Mining. Like if you take off everything else on this scanner and you saw that, that's the first thing you see. AMC Entertainment buying 22% of Highcroft Mining. You're going to be like, that's amazing, right? So we got to go and dig in a little bit into this. Let's see what they're paying for it. So, yeah, let me take a break. We'll get to the bottom of this on HYMC and see what's going on here. Because if the Cheeto fingers and the Red Bull smell is wafting in and around HYMC, then we do want to keep an eye on it, as we know what those gorillas can do. Gorilla. All right, I'll be right back, guys.
All right, here. Okay, SONM coming back up. Yep, looks like it's going to try to give that dollar a test again, which is, the first time it hits a dollar, it could have broke, but it's good that it didn't, because if it would have broke right away, it might have just shot up to 125, which would have been, nice. It'd been a decent little bit of profit, but if it consolidates like this and then breaks a dollar, we might be able to break up to that $1.50 area. However, we are still testing, but as long as we're above 90 cents, I think we could still see it. Let's get to this HYMC nonsense with AMC and see what is going on here. So it is a $56 million investment from a renowned precious metals investor, Eric Sprott, in AMC Entertainment. So let's see here. See, this is why Highcroft is a junior miner. It owns the Highcraft mine located in world-class mining region of northern Nevada. Okay. Here we go. Here's the terms. They will each invest $27.9 million in cash in Highcroft in exchange for 23 million units, which each unit consisting of one common share and one common share purchase warrant. The units are priced at $1.19 per unit, which is the minimum bid price required by NASDAQ for at-the-market purchase. Each purchase warrant will be exercisable for one share of Highcraft at a price of $1.06 per share. Okay, so very interesting to see AMC buy a junior miner. That Highcroft mine that they own. Here's the thing. AMC has not made the best decisions in the past. Ever. That's why they were about to go bankrupt and they were able to short squeeze AMC up originally. However, AMC buying a mine of a junior miner like this, and they apparently did this deal with Sprott, which he is a very big precious metals investor. If Sprott is working with AMC on this deal, then I am willing to ignore AMC's bad past business decisions, because I think this actually could be a very wise decision on their part. And it's crazy, I know, because like AMC's a movie theater, them buying a mine, but it's not that far-fetched in different types of companies. Well, they're not buying the whole mine, but they're investing in this mining company. So there are plenty of companies that have other investments in companies that have nothing to do with what that company is about. So little wild to see, but not anything out of the ordinary. However, the price that Sprott and AMC are paying per share is $1.19 and $1.06 for the warrants. So this still, could come back down to those areas. If they're only willing to pay $1 right now, what's the odds that everybody else in institution-wise and all of that
what is the odds that they're willing to buy it at $3 when they know AMC and Sprott are are in at $1? You know what I mean? Like, why would anybody else, any big money, want to pay that triple the price of what they just paid? So it's an interesting play. I think it's definitely one to keep on watch all week. We'll be talking about it and covering it all week now that I know that Eric Sprott is invested in this. That changes things completely. Sprott doesn't get things too wrong when it comes to miners. And before we even knew all that, we looked at the financial sheet of HYMC and saw a major switch from them going negative or being negative with their liabilities versus assets to them going positive with their assets this year versus their liabilities. So there's a lot of strengths that HYMC has. But again, we don't want to be paying such high prices. America Airlines. Well, here's the thing. We bailed American Airlines out. We didn't, American Airlines has been bailed out by the government so many times. American Airlines should be out of business. They're trash. I've flown American Airlines. They're garbage. Their planes are crappy. They're not buying new planes. It's another one of those companies. It's not a good company. It's actually a worse company, in my opinion, than AMC. Simply because if you can't run your company in a positive manner, that anytime something shaky happens with the economy, you got to go to the government for help. Well, then you're running a very bad company. And I would say I can guarantee also, American Airlines, they're let me pull it up on TradingView. I guarantee their debt is they've got to be upside down even with everything. Is it cheap? Sure. It is cheap. Oh, are you talking about, are you talking about, I thought you were talking about American Airlines. Are you talking about Alcoa? Because talking about Alcoa, that's a totally different thing. Yeah, you can't be talking about, you're not talking about Alcoa. My brother works for Alcoa, so I know quite a bit about Alcoa. He's been there for like 30 years. What is American Airlines' ticker symbol? Oh, I think it's AA. Is it AAL? Yeah, it's AAL. That's what it is. Okay. Still holding above 90 on SONM. IHXL. Not doing too much at the moment either. S&M throwing another little wick down. Having trouble getting up there testing. If it can't get back up and test $1. So we got 20 minutes. We could see that pullback. Now, I'll give you American Airlines is very cheap for the price right now. We look at the week chart. American Airlines top is around 55, something like that. Well, we go into their financials. Let's go look at them and see. So there's 2020. They are showing more revenue than last year. which makes, well, actually, this is 2021. They don't have anything yet for, yeah, so Q1 of 2021, they did increase revenues. Let's see their balance sheet. Look at here. Look at the balance sheet. Total liabilities 73 billion, total assets 66 billion. So the assets have actually been moving down over the past year, while the liabilities haven't really moved that much. And they've not showed any free cash flow. Go biannually. Actually, they did show positive free cash flow of 292 million in 2021. But again, the Feds bailed them out. You go back and look at this, you can see 2021 was 8 billion. The year before that was negative 450 million. Year before that was negative 212 million. 2017 minus 1 billion, and then they were positive in 2016. But since then, this is, yeah. And then look at this right here. Their cash from financing activities are 5 billion. So American Airlines versus HYMC, I like HYMC better, personally. Oh, AA. Oh, you know, there's so many different things that AA stands for. How was I supposed to know you're talking about Adam Aaron? Is that who is that? The CEO of AMC? Thought you were talking about American Airlines. Alright, so A&M, you're still trying to hold 90 cents. So let's see. What's the NQ doing? So you see NQ running in a 13.4. Having some resistance there. All right. Maybe the C. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, AMC has not had a good past, just like American Airlines. I like I said, I like the decision. Let's actually pull up AMC, because if we start to see gold break out, oh my God. Oh, this is making me want to be a bull on AMC. I'm gonna wait for a few days to see how this HYMC AMC thing plays out. You can see HYMC is trying to rebound off of that 50-day moving average on the hour chart. Very close to possibly pushing up again. But I'm not going to... I hate AMC so much. Oh, goodness. The fact that they're buying a... Why? Why do they got to do this to me? Why do they got to make me have to think real hard about... Of all the things AMC could do, they go and buy shares into a junior minor. Oh, my goodness. It's like the one thing... There's two things that would have made me turn bullish on AMC. and that would have been them buying a mine, which I never would have thought they would have done, or buying into a gold company, or if they would have bought into something like a crypto company, if they would have, or not company, but a cryptocurrency, if they would have said the same thing that, AMC is investing 56 million in Bitcoin or something, then I'd be like, well, AMC, they might be turning it around. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I like the move. I don't like AMC. But that's the thing about trading and the thing about being a human. Communication is very important, and we always got to have an open mind. So I may end up changing my opinion on AMC here in the next couple of days or so, depending on what happens. As much as my insides are turning thinking about it, doesn't matter how I feel. The important part is there going to be an opportunity to make money off of HYMC and AMC with this new partnership, and gold potentially breaking 2,000. SPY starting to curl over a little bit. See, hit that 200 for 24.30 and getting rejected. Are quadruple witching days usually green or red? So I've heard of the witching thing in the market. Let me look it back up. When I did my research on that, it was something that I was like, I don't really care. So I don't quite remember exactly what it was, but I remember not caring about the witching rules or whatever, or witching whatever. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, first, before we get into that, I just switched over to Investopedia. This just came out, I think. God, this is not good. Oh, it came out yesterday. Consolidated Appropriation Act of 2022. Congress approved the massive 1.5 trillion omnibus spending package that also includes 13.6 billion in military and humanitarian aid for Ukraine on Thursday, March 11. This legislation moved at the congressional version warp speed, passing the House late Wednesday, less than a day after it was introduced. There is no possible way that everybody in Congress who voted on this in the House was able to read this a day after it was introduced. So this is 2,741 page bill, and it's going to, of course, Biden's going to sign it because the House expedited it. But there's no way they read this. It's not physically possible for them to read a 2,741 page bill, understand everything that's put in there, and then pass it like that. That's insane. On top of it being insane, it's $1.5 trillion, which where the hell is that coming from? Because we don't have it. So more huge government spending while we are seeing inflation, not going to help. This is more craziness. And wow, okay, so what are the key takeaways? They passed it. We know they're going to send $13 billion of garbage money to Ukraine. COVID-19 relief funding was removed when agreement could not reach offsetting. So American citizens right now, guys, I want you to realize this. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, because this passed the House with a 260-171 vote, meaning that a bunch of Republicans voted for this too. So they are willing to give $14 billion to Ukraine for help, but they were not willing to give any more stimulus checks or anything like that to the people of America who could really use that right now. If you're going to if you're going to do these type of things, if you're going to invest back into, or if you're going to, I mean, they're basically investing into Ukraine, and then they're investing into $730 billion in non-defense spending, whatever that is, and then $782 billion in the defense appropriations. For what? What is this funding for? The funding is provided for 12 appropriation bills that make up the federal budget. The federal budget's what? Okay, so here's some of the other stuff in it. Extending the National Flood Insurance Program, reauthorizing the Violence Against Women Act. So I'm not sure why it costs billions of dollars or even $1 million for them to reauthorize an act. Don't even know exactly what this Violence Against Women Act is. I mean, there's already laws against violence across the whole country in every state. So why the Fed needs to say make this, I don't know. And retaining the Hyde Amendment, which prohibits the use of federal funds to cover abortion services for, yeah. So everybody who, all those crazies who voted Democrat because they thought abortion was going to be covered under Medicare and all that, they did. They didn't fall for that. They said, nope, our funds are not going to none of that. Our funds are going to Ukraine and this act. This is Violence Against Women Act and our National Flood Insurance Program. Oh, gosh. So we got agricultural spending. What are they spending? Both discretionary and mandatory programs. And this is following up on the 2021 investment of $65 billion in broadband access. So they're expanding benefits for the SNAP program, Commerce, Justice, Science. The Commerce, Justice, Science, and Related Agencies Funding Bill provides $75 billion in funding, including resources for victims of domestic abuse and sexual violence as part of this Woman Act. The Violence Against Women Act. Division B funding also creates jobs in distressed communities with support. Well, I can tell you this right now. The government funding does not create jobs. That's just nonsense. Including small and medium-sized American manufacturers. Now that doesn't make any sense. How does this create jobs in small business and small and sized manufacturers and local law enforcement, and how's that going to open jobs? That doesn't even make any sense. Additionally, help for the climate crisis provided by, there it is, that's where the kicker is. Help for the climate crisis provided by funding research at NASA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and the National Science Foundation, which, by the way, your tax dollars and previous years have went to putting lizards on treadmills or listening to hours of a Lance Armstrong tape of him on the moon to figure out what exactly he said. So I could go through all this, but just already, this is nonsense. This is another big, huge spending bill. Not going to help with inflation whatsoever. Like I said, I don't even know where they're getting the money from for this, because we don't have any. So, not good there. Not good. More nonsense. Let me figure out this witching thing, real quick. Quadruple witching days. So let me see. Investopedia. Quadruple witching days. I'm going through Investopedia because I've used them quite a bit, and I know most of their. Yeah, here we go. Oh, this has to do with expiration dates. That's what it was. So, let's just go over it, a little lesson here. Quadruple witching refers to a date on which stock index futures, options, and just basically futures and options, when they all expire simultaneously. While stock option contracts and index options expire on every third Friday of the month, all four assets classes expire simultaneously on the third Friday of March, June, September, and December. Key takeaways: quadruple witching. We know what that is now. Quadruple occurs every quarter, and quadruple witching days witness heavy trading volume, in part due to the offsetting of existing futures and option contracts that are profitable. While it may result in increased volume and arbitrage opportunities, quadruple witching does not necessarily translate to increased volatility in the markets. So, I mean, it's just when all these contracts just go up, like every quarter or whatever, or something, or when they expire every quarter. Will it matter? Will it make Friday different than any other Friday? We'll see. But I've never really noticed when it's witching time or whatever. It's like, because the thing with futures is, even though those contracts are going to expire, the current contracts, the up next contract is already out. So what you usually just see is everybody getting out of the expired contract and getting in to the new futures, or the previous, or not the previous contract, but the upcoming contract. So it's not really. That may be why we're seeing possibly everything just going sideways this week. It could be because of that. These futures contracts and option expiry dates are all about to come to an end here. So that may be why we're seeing the sideways effects across all markets. That on top of this Fed announcement, whether it'll be green or red, who knows? Who knows? To find out consistently an accurate ratio of witching days and seeing what they generally do, we'd have to go back and look at a lot of previous witching days and see what they did on those quadruple days or triple days, and compare them. If the markets go green most of the time, or triple witching or quadruple witching, then probability is it'd go green. If they go red most of the time, the probability is it would go red. So that's about as far as I, you know, really really care about it. We will say I did want to read this real quick. Quadruple witching days witness heavy trading volume. Actually, no. Let's see. Does any of this? So I mean, they're just even so far. Yeah, they're not saying it goes green or red either way. They're saying there's some arbitrage opportunities. If you don't know what arbitrage, the best example of arbitrage happens with cryptos and different exchanges. But arbitrage basically means you're buying one asset in US dollar or any currency, but we're just going to use that US dollar for this example. You're buying something, say, in US dollar at the US dollar price. Let's say SN, or let's just say the SPY while we're on the SPY. SONM is still coming down. That may drop more. We may come on down to 75 cents. I'm going to give it just a little bit more time. But anyway, to use the SPY as an example, say you bought the SPY and in USD terms it's 425. You buy it at 425 to keep the numbers easy. So you own those shares of the SPY ETF at 425. Well, let's say you could go and sell that SPY ETF to somebody else for Japanese yen. But let's say the Japanese yen price converted to US dollar is more than 425. It actually comes out to 435 or 437. So when you buy it from the low price in the US dollar and then sell it for a different currency that would be a higher price in US dollar, you are getting that arbitrage. You're getting that profit that would be in between. We see it a ton in cryptos because cryptos you can buy on like Coinbase for cheap and go to a different exchange and sell it. Like literally within a couple of minutes you can do this and sell it for a higher price in USD terms that you bought it for. So there may be arbitrage opportunities from what I'm gathering from looking at the Investopedia, a little bit of article there. But I don't think it's anything to really be concerned about. It's just saying increased volatility. So we're already in tons of volatility. This last week and a half, well, so far this week we've been quiet, but last week oil ripping up, to $130 and the stock market dropping as hard as it did. That's pretty volatile already. So maybe Friday will be real crazy, but whether it'll be green or red, we don't know yet. And it looks like the SPY is not going to be able to break 425 as it's running into 424 3 hours in a row this 200-day and not able to break. So, but all right, I believe I'm going to call it a day. Yeah, IHXL not really doing too much now. That action's all given up. HYMC hanging out around $1.60 still, but as I said, I think a better price would be closer to what AMC is paying for it and what Sprott is paying for HYMC. But yep, no problem, Lori. And in here, I'll give you that. Did I leave that article up? Oh, no, I didn't. I closed it. But all you got to do is just pull up Investopedia and type in quadruple witching, and there'll be several articles on it. Yeah, I'm going to hold SONM for a little bit longer. If it does not start coming back up off of 85 cents, I am getting out. But we'll be back tomorrow for some more live stock market trading. I should be back on schedule for a little bit earlier. I know this week, the first 2 days of this week, we've been starting at 10. We're going to try to get back to starting at 9:30 the rest of this week. So appreciate everybody joining me as always. You guys stay safe out there. We'll be back a little while on the crypto channel for some God's content and some other crypto update content as well. Just doing a few hour live stream there. So you guys stay safe out there. Until next time.
This is war with the enemy. Think that it was meant to be. Living in a time